Well, here we are. I hope wherever you are having an amazing, wonderful, heartfelt, and appreciative day here on planet Earth. Thank you for joining myself and Matt Hazen of MasterPeace. We have got one heck of a time to spend with you today to cover some very significant issues that are going on in the world and solution sets that are going to help you navigate the terrain that we're all faced against. There's not one person on this call today who cannot benefit from what we're about to cover. If you're with friends and colleagues, turn this up, have them join, send them the link, family, friends, the people that you love. This is an opportunity to go deep and get real information that matters, that's factual, that's scientific, and that is all built around love. And that's the most important part that I want you guys to take from this. What we're here to talk about is a very caring opportunity that we all can do to ensure the lives of ourselves and those that we care about, to lift them up in the best capacity possible from things we simply cannot see. So I'm Ken Newbill. I'm the health transformation specialist. I'm a functional wellness practitioner, nutritionist, holistic nutritionist. I do all the things. At the end of the day, people come to me to help them heal. And one of the tool sets that allows me to do that is developed by this man that I love. He's my brother. This is Matt Hazen. He's the CEO and founder and had a vision. You know, we've known each other for years, and he had a vision after watching the market and seeing how we were being played and are consistently being played, not only by the threats that are in the world, but by some manufacturers of products that say that they want to help us and aren't helping us really at all. And today you will learn more about what real help looks like and how much it matters. So without further ado, brother, welcome. Thank you for being here. Tell everybody a little bit about you and why this call is probably the most important call so far that anyone is going to have in 2024.
Totally. Give me one hot second here, Ken.
You got it.
I got to make sure that this thing stays plugged in and we're ready to go.
Hey, while he's getting settled in, y'all, while he's getting settled in, drop your comments. I'm going to see your comments come over. If you have questions, drop them in here. I'm going to be perusing through those to throw those over the net at Matt, and he's going to knock them down. Okay?
That's right. You know, we are living in a world where we wanted to be deceived by a lot of different places and media and avenues. And it's hard for us to really find what is really happening to us and not. And there's very few people who are fearlessly, that are truly set to want to help out mankind the way you can, and a few others are really set to do. And so we have tirelessly, under countless hours, underneath the most strategic cloak and dagger type of way, gotten the nano analysis, the electron microscope analysis. We've done clinical medical studies that can absolutely easily hold up to the highest level of scrutiny that anybody can challenge it with. And what we have come and created, and this is completely for each and every man and woman on earth, a real life solution to the countless microscopic cesspool toxins that is in our air and also in our soil, water, everything, right? It's, of course, put into the industrial production processes of foods and anything that you can imagine. And so there's over 80,000 of these environmental pollutions, non-eco-friendly things that are not biodegradable, they're unnatural, they're impure. Our living body and animals and plants living bodies and all living creation can't handle. and has, silently led to the worldwide health epidemic that we're in. And we have something that is incredible. It's completely not made for monetary profit or any of this normal stuff that we're used to seeing, where we say, oh, we got to get this and we got to, it's as good as it gets. And we are bringing it out steadily right now. We're exponentially growing, and we are relying on the great people that are truly about truth and wisdom and true holistic well-being, such as you, Ken, and others. And it's an awesome time. This is
a great time. This is
2024 is going to be big.
We got to blow it up this year. It has to happen. There's
this
so
is
many
it.
people that have been, quote unquote, activated in the last 30 days who have questionable symptoms and illnesses and sicknesses that kind of came out of nowhere. They're not sure how and or why they are sick. They are trying to do all the right things and have been doing them for quite some time. And these good stewards of health are falling victim to the 80,000 biochemicals out here, this warfare that we cannot see, this warfare that you are breathing, we are drinking, we are eating, we are wearing. And we need help. We need to get real about what's critical. As a nutritionist, I'll tell you right now, vitamins ain't going to fix this. Okay. We have to have way more intuitiveness and technology, because we're being technically beat down. And you don't beat technology with a weed. Unfortunately, there are some things that I can absolutely help people beat with a weed, but there's some things that when you go to war, because this is a bioweapon war that we are absolutely all in, and you don't get to choose to be in it or not. I'm sorry. You breathe air, you drink water, you eat food, you're in the war. So this is a great day to kind of get your operations order and your weaponry established so that you can protect yourself and those that you truly care about.
Yeah. Let's sum it up. We are in a modern day nanometer sized, and all that means a microscopic, can't see it with the eyes, world where we have nanometer sized, which means inside the cell, toxin warfare that has been brought against us. Some of it is just from natural industrial processes. Some of it is as nefarious as it could look. But we had to have a modern day nano solution. That doesn't mean that we have to be in a lab making something that's unnatural, that is not normal to us. It means there is natural processes to get natural minerals that have been proven underneath every circumstance to get out the toxins and the things that don't belong in us out. And we have made a creation that underneath a recent cellular toxin medical study that the world's most leading experts, doctors who have been analyzing things underneath an electron microscope, just so that everybody knows, is the most leading edge, cutting edge technology for anything that is analyzing things at that level. And what this thing looks to these experts as, such as Dr. Robert Young, people like Dr. Carrie Madej, naturopath Carolyn Mansfield, there's many of them coming aboard right now that are recognizing this for what it is. And so what we want to do is show people what MasterPeace is truly all about, how it works, and how to take it from here so we can survive. You got to survive first.
Yeah.
If the plane's going down, you got to get the mask on yourself first before the kids. Yeah, we are going to make it now. We are truly going to make it now. And for a long time, it was a little scary. And there was actually large groups of these expert scientists, doctor types that have this kind of, ability to see things underneath this lowest level and kind of see how things work. And they've been scared. And so now they're recognizing this as a solution to that kind of poisoning that's been, that we're we've been undergo, and it's as good as it gets because I'm into factual evidence. I don't like to go by just making claims. I don't like companies that say this is what's going to happen if you take this. Show me the proof in the pudding. Show me I want to see data. I want to see analysis. I want to see real life people that have done a certain type of protocol, which in this case, we're talking about MasterPeace. And let's see the results there, and let's start making our decisions based on truth.
Absolutely. In your eyes, what was the original concept in your mind when you're like, I've got to bring MasterPeace to the world? How did that bubble up?
Yeah, it was a bubbling up. I didn't really think so. My whole life, I've been very curious, and my whole life, I have not believed a single thing the government or the normal institutions told me. I recognized right away from even in high school education, I challenged everything I seen. I knew a lot of things weren't adding up. Religion wasn't adding up. A lot of things weren't adding up. And so I had that natural kind of curiosity. And about 4 years ago, when my son was on his way, I have many older kids that are 27 now, 23, 18. I have a 3-year-old boy. And when he was coming into this world, I was scared shitless just because I had started seeing, I was very aware to all like the suppressed healing modalities, but also these real healthy ways of living in terms of like, you don't need to eat all the meat in the world. And you can, just quantum frequencies. I was very abreast to like fruitarians, breatharians, fasting, all the stuff that anybody can name right now. And I looked at them and I said, none of these people, there's no set point path. There's no guidepost that said this is the answer. So I literally, after 2020, recognized without a doubt that people's health was rapidly declining. And we were in a real live worldwide health epidemic. And so I thought, man, whatever's happening here, there's not a solution for yet. And so that just took me into a deep dive, and I started getting into nano and what that means, nanotechnology. It's not a scary word. That it can be good or bad, and right now it's obviously a lot more bad than good. But I started learning what all that's about and how our bodies actually work, and the fact that we're actually in a real life microscopic cesspool of toxins that we were breathing in. So, you got people buying organic fruits and vegetables, but they were still unhealthy. And you got people that weren't even eating and they were still losing their health, right? And they were going downhill too, like everybody else. And so I thought, whatever's happening, there's no one's thinking about this the right way. And that sent me on the path, really. And, it's not me. I'm not all by myself. I have a great inner core group of helpers, starting with Matt Senna in terms of like researching all my ideas and concepts that I wanted to, looking into nature and seeing how things actually work and trying to just wrap my brain around it. But I had the time and I put in the effort and I did it all for mankind. And it kind of led us to a company with a large group of what I would say is the most amazing do-gooders on earth. And we have experts and we have the highest level authority figures. And I wish I could say some of the names that are involved with us right now, but I got to tell you, it's as good as it gets. And anybody that really digs into what our analysis, our findings, what people are experiencing just by using the product, so we need to embrace this. This is created for everybody to be completely affordable. This was not for me or anybody else to make a bunch of money off of it. It had nothing to do with that. And this is things that people need to, MasterPeace is something that everybody needs to take to remediate and reduce and mitigate and lower the levels of the countless things that the greater part of our population is unaware of. Yeah, go ahead.
No, absolutely. I mean, we're saying everyone because we're all dealing with this and we can't run. There's nowhere to
Right.
run. Okay. I don't care if you're in the country. It's just, I live in the country. You live in the country. We still got to deal with this.
Right.
Okay. We don't get a free ride. Why? Because we've got people spraying fields around us. Okay. Trying to farm our food. Right. And this stuff, once it's in, it's not coming out very easily. You have to escort this stuff out of your body. And what I really appreciate about what you guys have done at MasterPeace is, just knowing how you guys started and the level of care and love and research that you guys did to make this a bona fide opportunity. This is genuine,
Yeah.
never been done before stuff,
Yes.
to handle a threat that's never truly been addressed. We've been trying to, we've been throwing clay at it, we've been throwing we've been throwing all types of detoxing and things at it and going as hard as possible. But you got to be an extreme person, and even the extreme can't make this move. We need help. We need assistance. We need
Right.
some tech to help us get this stuff out because tech put it there. And I
Yeah.
think understanding that part of the battlefield is what's really important. The battlefield of health has changed. It's a cyber attack internally. Can you talk a
Right.
little bit about what that means to you, an internal cyber attack that's being put on us through some of the forever chemicals that are showing up in our bodies now, brother?
Yeah, totally. So I'm in constant daily conversations with doctors who have the most published medical papers on Earth in terms of the electromagnetic field and biofield that surrounds our body. We're electromagnetic beings. And we have to consider that most of, the things that make our cell phones work really great, that's electromagnetic fields and electromagnetic signals. And they
Yes.
affect us as much as they affect the phone. So if you think your phone is cool with how it responds to your phone calls and being on the internet and all this at the same time, you're that same way. And so, we are looking at what we are under attack with. You are an electromagnetic being and you
Mm-hmm.
are bathing in electromagnetic fields. And if you think that you can escape that, well, then you just need to do more research. And so what we had to do was look at a way, something, a product, which it became a product or a formula in this case, that could remediate and mitigate and remove what is bombarding us faster than what is coming in. And that was the mission. We kind of knew that was going to probably be the way. And from there, there was a lot of pieces of the most amazing individuals on earth that had that knew what was going on, that went into this puzzle to lead us to what this product and what the studies and our analysis is showing. Yeah.
Let's change gears a little bit. Let's start talking a little bit about some of the scientific evidence that has been brought to light in the last 60 days or so, since you guys started your study. I thought, when I heard some of the preliminary findings, it was beautiful to see the confirmation that we all knew was possible, based on the science and all the research that went behind bringing this to market and making it safe, making this like baby safe,
Yes.
and I want to say that again. This is baby safe. Your baby is still impacted by this. And I think as a father, that's one of the things that really wraps me up around the threats that exist in this world when it comes to trying to manage our health and stay ahead of the game, is that they're trying to modify us. Okay. These things modify us. This stuff gets down deep and it gets into levels of the body that will freak you out. And if you knew that this potential was going on in your child, or that this potentially was passed from mama to baby, in terms of toxicity, and that baby never really had a true chance to get here on planet Earth with a fair shot, and that just it amps me up. As a former military guy, I believe in protecting. and being responsible for our own and for those who can't take care of themselves. And there's a lot of people that you may know that aren't on this call today that have no idea how to address the threats of today and what they could be doing to protect themselves to live a better life while they got the time. Because it's not about how long we're here, it's about how good it is here while we are here. How good is your life while you are here? Are you truly experiencing wellness in the way that affords you to live out the life in the way that you see fit or not? And that is often my discernment between being wealthy or not. You know, health is wealth. It is the greatest thing we all have. We cannot enjoy this beautiful planet without it. We don't want to be limited. And this is the unlimiter. This is getting deep. So you could be working on your food. You could be getting your exercise in. You could be doing all that just right, even getting your sleep right. But man, this is another level of ability that you're going to be able to pull back into, and you will appreciate what you feel. I don't have any client. I've recommended this to every one of my clients since day one when we drove in together and we did our call and we really understood what was going on with MasterPeace. It's just exciting, and I'm happy to know that there's always a balance on this planet. You are a balancer to the problem. You are here for a reason, and the team that you're associated with, all those beautiful souls are here for a reason, and it's to counterbalance the evil that is going on right now. And I don't know what else to call it. That's just what I feel. It's what I see, and it's on purpose. Okay, because once you truly understand the backside of some of the chemicals and how they get into the body, and how things turn on and get manipulated within, so that things can make you sick, even if you're doing all the best things for yourself, which is just ain't fair. That's not playing fair, is it? No. So we're being poisoned, and we're also being hijacked. Our bodies are being hijacked, and that's concerning in my opinion. And I don't want anyone to be walking through life not knowing that they're just not aware. Number one, that they are being hijacked and they have all these problems and they're depressed because they're like, but I'm trying to do my best. Why am I not getting better? There's a lot of reasons why you're not getting better. There's maybe 80,000 of them. And within that pile of 80,000, there are some heavy hitters, some major pieces to that. So, brother, tell us a little bit about why you guys decided to do this study. What was the intent behind this study?
So the purest intentions behind everything with the conception, what we wanted to do from the very onset was to provide a product that was going to provably, undeniably, effectively, safely was the most important thing, lead people, give people a step-by-step protocol that was highly affordable, so that each and every human being, if they took this, could, in essence, what it's become now is the keystone, the key that unlocks your highest potential. And, and I just want you to imagine for a moment, you have trillions of cells that make up your body. And if many of those cells have these stuck, trapped heavy metals and various forever chemicals, and there's 80,000 plus of those, then your cells, which need to communicate with each other on a lot of levels that are science and that we don't understand fully yet, if they can't do that right, then we're not just dimmed down, we're very controlled, and we won't even recognize it. And so at the beginning, so what we've done with this study is, at least, and I have to be very careful, right? So I can't say just what I want, what I know. I have to dance around it, and I have to talk about, in terms of these 3 test subjects, we were a small company. We did not have investors leading the charge. We were gassed up. We were throttled and propelled and catapulted by the highest intentions to help out mankind, but not a damn dollar from anybody outside of us. We literally ran a moving company in order to move people, to pull in money, to front this thing. So Right, right. As real as it gets, right? And so what we have stumbled across, and this is backed by by more forms of analysis and scrutiny than any supplement, and I can say this, any supplement that I've ever seen or that anybody that I've talked to has ever seen. We have more analysis, more evidence, more data, and more testimonials in terms of people's experience to back up that results of that data to show that this is really removing the deepest root cause of why we are plagued in the situation today, where not just our consciousness, not just our energy levels, our physical well-being, all this autoimmune disease stuff. We're in a worldwide health epidemic where if we look at our population compared to the way we looked and acted 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago, we are going downhill. We're going to hell in a handbasket in terms of our holistic health and well-being. And what we wanted to say is what is happening there? And then we had to work our way back with how we're going to make this thing, make and create this thing so that we can actually have something that is doable, workable, affordable for every single person. So if you want to just be the status quo, keep your head in the sand, you can do that. And, you know, and you can complain to everybody around you about all your ailments and all the things that make you a sick, victimized person. Or you can start with MasterPeace, which will really help you feel better in the present moment. It'll give you better sleep. It'll depoison you. And when those things happen for the average user that we've seen, then at that point, you can start to affect your loved ones, your pets, your community, everything that you affect in your environment better. And that's the start of the change, right? And so that's literally what we set out from the beginning. And yeah, it's as good as it gets, man.
It's a wonderful opportunity. I don't care if you are eating at McDonald's today, okay, and you're struggling and you're trying to figure out how to make a transition. You know, you're trying to do something better for yourself. This is one of the easy buttons, okay?
Yep.
This can get you started because you're going to do something positive. And because everything is energy and frequency and light in this world, it's going to affect you in a way that's going to likely allow you to make your transition to make better decisions for yourself easier. I know how hard it is. I coach so many people who have been beating themselves to death for years for food choices, and just overall lifestyle quality that degrades them. And a lot of it was because you've been implicated with some things that you're unaware of. It's not all your fault, man. It's not all your fault about the anxiety and the depression, and you know, you don't feel like doing things, you don't want to move, you say you want to do something and you can't seem to move through it and get your action behind your words done. It's because we're a little dysfunctional inside at levels that you're not really responsible for. Okay.
Right. You're not responsible for, but no one's going to get you out of it but you.
Exactly. You're the only one that can make the choice and make the move. And we have a question that popped up. And I love these kind of questions because I think this addresses one of the biggest things about wellness, which is a lot of folks want to always put time on wellness. And so someone said, how soon after taking should we see benefits? And before you answer, Matt, because I know you've got plenty that you can share with that, but here's a case in point that I've experienced with multiple people. For some people, the experience of taking MasterPeace can be known within hours.
Yeah.
In some people, it can be known within days. And in some people, it can be known within weeks. However, if you have been taking it and you're not sure if it's helping, here's what I do with all holistic therapies. Stop taking it.
Yes. That's the big. Our best advocates right now
Yeah.
can.
Stop taking it, and you will
You
know.
just touched on so many things, but that is the number one thing I have told in all of our social media platforms, which we're still very young and growing. I told people, you know, our best people are ones that they take it. They don't really, it's too subtle. They don't really notice anything. And so I tell them, if you don't know if something's working, it's your hard-earned money, don't buy it again. And then they wait about 2 or 3 weeks. And then they start feeling the new onset of everything. And that's when you know that you know.
Yeah,
Totally.
you're on the right track.
Yes,
Your internal vibration will shift, okay? Because I don't care what type of supplement you take or what type of food you eat. Just remember, it's all vibration and frequency and light at the end of the day. Yes, we've got all those other constituents about nutrients and bioflavonoids and whatever, okay? I get that. But it all affects you by vibration and frequency, because every one of those things exists in a certain frequency and tonality. So when you stop taking that, and you will realize, but I was better when I had that. Why? You won't care why. You'll know it's serving you appropriately, and it's taking you to a better place. So do that test. If you're not sure, start it. If you've been on MasterPeace, stop. I've done it. I always do these tests.
Don't randomly just buy something if you don't know it's working. Like,
exactly.
Put a halt to it. Totally.
And any one of my clients knows my model: results or remove. Results or remove. Okay. Yeah. And I stand behind MasterPeace because the results are evident, and it's happening worldwide. Okay. This isn't just with my certain sector client base. This is worldwide. People are stepping into this and seeing the reality that there was still work left to do. I don't care if they were on another similar product, because there isn't another product like this on the marketplace right now that hits the levels that this does, or you think you've been detoxifying. I hear those kind of stories all the time. And then we realize, oh my, there's another level to this. Yes, there is other levels to this. And there is more going on inside of this machine of yours than you can probably ever imagine when it comes to how we cope with and deal with toxicities and poisons, and how long our body has to suffer trying to work and maneuver around them, and not having the ability or agility to do it. I think our bodies get frustrated when it can't do its work to protect us. So we're here to help our bodies a little bit and encourage those processes to help us heal, right? Because no one on this call is telling you MasterPeace heals you. No, you are always the ultimate healer. Let no man take your power from you, ever, ever. Okay? This is a quiver. Okay? This is an arrow for you to be able to weaponize yourself with and protect yourself and your family, and leverage it. Leverage it willfully. It's been set at an affordable, I think, very affordable for what it offers. In fact, I'll tell you this. If I didn't think I could afford it, and I was doing something else with my wellness, I'd probably stop that. I'd really evaluate that and come over on this side of the house, at least to investigate, to see, oh my God, if I spent my money this way, I can get all this other benefit, right? Because you don't need every tool on the market to get better, my friends. You really don't. Okay. We have plenty of free protocols to help you in many areas, but it takes some faith. It takes some confidence, right? Are you fasting? Are you dry fasting? Are you doing some of the other holistic therapies in the world? This is a holistic therapy. MasterPeace in itself is equatable to something like MMS therapy or H2O2 therapies, but on a whole nother level of where those things cannot reach. And that's what I'm trying to share with you guys today. And that's why I wanted Matt on today, was to truly help us dig in to understand why MasterPeace, why now. When you were doing this study for the
Can I say this, Ken? I'm going to cut you off just for one quick second, because I just want to make something that is so clear to anybody that ever reads this broadcast and listens to this, okay? Your body, if it was cleaned out, can outperform exponentially more than any supplement you could ever put into your body to help your body grow. And so this is not a supplement. This is a detoxification support that is absolutely the strongest, most effective, exponentially, than any other detoxification support products or things that have ever been made. And all it does is get the junk out of the way so that you can then realize how beautiful, majestic, and amazing your body is at doing its normal functions, you know? And so I'm sorry I cut you off there, but you know, I just, we have to understand that reality, you know, what your body can, go ahead.
No, it's all, you know, and we got to get to that point to where it's not about adding things. Okay. It is getting very effective at removing obstruction in the body, right? We're so quick to go, well, what can I eat for this? And what can I eat for that? And we're not looking at removing what's causing issue first. Okay. Right. So many of us, I don't care what kind of health journey you're on. You're trying to fix your thyroid, you're trying to fix adrenals, chronic fatigue, gut issues, whatever. Most of us aren't winning at it. Okay. We're not winning because we haven't removed the obstructions. We haven't gotten things out of the way that cause the problem. So when people, for example, this is just a little bit about me, my philosophy and how I work with people. When people first come to me, we have to investigate their history so they understand how they got sick. The buildup. You're 50 years old on the planet right now. You have been here since the 70s or the late 60s. You've been accumulating this garbage at a higher and higher rate year after year, and it's exponential. It's exponential at how high it's moved and how fast these toxicities and poisons have moved into our bodies over the years. So if you've never truly cleansed your body, you've never really worked on detoxification at the cellular level, my friends, most of what you're looking at that you're trying to medicate for is because you never removed the obstructions. Right. So your body can't breathe. It can't get oxygen in the cell. And you're worrying about why you don't have any energy and why your mitochondria ain't functioning and firing right. Okay?
Right.
There's so many people that just start taking this and all of a sudden, within a week or two, they're like, man, I feel like a new man. I feel like a new woman. I got energy again. I can go do my raw foods now. I can go prepare for the day. I can go get the walk in. This is the stuff that we're talking about. So if you're sitting on the couch right now and you're trying to figure out why the hell you can't get off of it, it's because the obstructions are still there. And you're going to have to do some work to get some of this stuff out so you can activate. Because everything that they're doing to us is to deactivate you. Right. The real you. They're deactivating the real you. And they're just leaving a shell for the rest of the world to see.
Ooh, you could be in a room full of these doctors that I be talking to every day. Doctors that have published many medical journals on the biofield and the electromagnetic fields. That they've been doing this since before the turn of the century and giving this type of talks. But yes, absolutely. You know, we are unfortunately easily programmed and dimmed down. And you know, we are, if someone wants to really dig deep into things, they can understand that humans are actually the most lucrative and most sought after resource on the planet. Much more than gold, much more than crops or any commodity. You know, humans, you know, you can't force a chicken to make more eggs, but you can force a man. You can put the fear into him to give him his eggs. And so, you know, to control a man, it's or a woman, of course, is what they're after, because there is a certain amount of population here, and they unfortunately have a lot of resources that is they prey off of power, greed, and being able to control the masses. And this is that focus point. This is that focal point. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the buck stops. This will give you a fighting chance to, activate what you really are.
Yeah. And once you feel it, you won't want to not feel it, my friends.
That's right.
When you figure out, I've been through many phases over the last 14 years with my own wellness journey. When I started out with a heart attack at the age of 38, and I was morbidly obese. I was over 300 pounds at the time. And what motivated me was the fact that I knew I had a son coming to this planet, and I wanted to be a better representation for him. I didn't want it for myself in the beginning. It was all about, I got to show up as a dad, and I don't want him to see me like this because this is embarrassing, right? But I had a reason to change, right? And not everybody gets that activated opportunity, but I want to tell you that there's levels to this. As your body adapts, and that's the factor of wellness that doesn't get talked about enough, is adaptation, because you have adapted to the poor state of health you're in now, and your body is chugging along and compensating everywhere it can possible to keep you in the best it can do based on your lifestyle, your environment, your spirit, and your mentality, and what your input is into this biomachine that we exist in with other entities. So don't take this as a as a sleight of hand. This is a big deal, meaning that it's so big. People that have been working on their wellness, like myself, for almost 15 years or more, right, who are stepping into this and finding new opportunities within ourselves. Here's one that I will absolutely accredit to MasterPeace. As long as I can remember, once I was no longer a child, I could not flex my feet without them cramping. And there's a lot of people in the world like that. Okay? I can do that. I can flex my feet, no problem now. There's no obstruction there causing that cramp anymore, because I've been able to get some things out of the way, right? You're never supposed to have this type of rickety, crickety feelings. Right. I hope you all can embrace the fact that we're not all aging the same. I am 51 years old. I will be 52 this year. I do not look like the average 40-year-old, let alone 50-year-old. I don't move like them either. Most people think I'm probably in my 30s. And that's how I roll, and that's how I move, and that's how I play with my kids. And I don't have any pain in my body. I get the great sleep every day because I've invested in my health, and I've gone through these levels, and I've had faith in me that I am in charge of bringing myself to the highest potential possible while I'm here. And it's my ultimate responsibility to do it not only for myself, but for my family. And I don't just mean my kids, I mean my whole family, that they see me and they go, I know it's possible. I may not be there right now, but I know it's possible. What's Ken doing? What's he got going on? What's he doing with his clients? And I have my family reach out to me from time to time, and they're like, what do you got going on? How do I look older than you? You're 20 years older than me. What's going on? And I go, I'm putting in the work, and God brings me beautiful things. He brings me people like Matt Sana, Matt Hazen. He brings me gifts and his people, and they show up in my life. And when he brings them, I listen, I pay attention, and we create relationships. And that's what this is about, guys. This isn't about you just buying a product tonight. This product costs $52. No one's
and it lasts you 2 months.
Yeah, $25 a month. Okay. I dare you to try even a product that is considered to be in the same class as MasterPeace. You ain't gonna find that value. It doesn't exist. Okay. And I'm not playing with you because I've played with all of them. I've been doing this detox stuff for a very long time because I figured out about 10 years ago that's where wellness starts. You must cleanse, you must detox, you must remove the obstructions to allow the highways within the body to reestablish proper pattern again and proper flow. Until you have that, you're always going to be working uphill. So you can resist the detox, you can resist the cleanse, but you will absolutely welcome disease. And it will stay with you until you face this as facts. This is a great question by Di Newman. And this is, I can't wait to jump into this one. What is the max dose of MasterPeace? And why max?
So my kids, I have a 1-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. And so I have bottles of MasterPeace around my place. And if I don't screw the top on real good, then they take it off and they guzzle the whole bottle all the time. And my kids have never really had sugar, so they're just really into. My kids were born underneath water, completely natural, never had their hair cut. They live barefooted, literally. They don't have a pair of shoes. We're a different type of people, and they will absolutely fight over MasterPeace. And so I would say there is no maximum dose. Our bodies can only, it's in terms of like expectorant or like getting things out. Look, if you didn't win the lottery yesterday, and you also probably want to use whatever extra money that you can for whatever else part of your regimen that you feel is helping you the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that 5 drops, which is what's on the bottle, twice a day. But if you're really serious about getting the most bang out of your buck, I would take 2 drops at a time, like every other hour.
Mm-hmm.
Do it 5 times a day. And that amount, 10 drops a day, will absolutely, underneath clinical studies where we took people's blood, we tested them for graphene oxide, the main component to hydrogel, which is polyethylene, polypropanol, PFOs, PFOAs, all the different heavy metals. Okay. And so underneath that level of scrutiny, which is not, it's accurate. We taking 10 drops a day, these people in the study that were 60, 61, and 62 years old, and that means that they've been alive for over 720 months. Mm-hmm. And in 1 month, in one of those many 720 plus months, they removed over half of their lifetime accumulated toxins. Now, we're still breathing, which means we're still taking in the toxins. But
yeah,
if we can,
target.
Right. So, I would say that you don't need to take any more than 10 drops a day. But hey, if you can buy 10 bottles and you can take dropperfuls, we have a lot of people that take 2 dropperfuls at a time, 2-3 times a day. This is very safe and effective. The number one thing is it's safe. It's not going to bring on detox symptoms like most people experience when they start taking products like that. And so, whatever you can take, I would say take that if you're wanting to. Yeah.
I think you will vibrate on what you need.
Yeah.
I love the 2-drop method because it's very homeopathic. Okay. But it's a homeopathic solution. So it's impossible to hurt yourself, which is a beautiful thing. If a child can go drink a bottle of this and be happy and have a great day, then we already know that we're dealing with something on a different level, especially when it comes to comparing MasterPeace to other quote unquote zeolite detoxification products. In fact, when we talk about price of detox products, man, when I first started doing zeolite stuff back in the day, these products used to cost a lot of dough. Okay. Right. One of my favorite ones used to cost about $150 a bottle per month, and it can't go where MasterPeace goes. All right. So it really comes down to understanding the body, understanding the threat, and understanding the science behind the threat and how to mitigate it. Okay. Right. This is how you decouple the issues that are going on out here in our bodies so that we can stop having phantom sicknesses. I don't know why I'm sick, right? I've been eating perfect. I've been moving perfect. I've been sleeping great. I'm not stressed out. I'm meditating. I'm happy. Why am I sick? Okay.
Right.
If you're still asking those questions or if you're like me and you feel like I'm kicking butt, man, I feel like I kick butt at wellness. I work at it. All right. And because of that fact, I want the insurance policy. MasterPeace is my insurance policy for myself and my family for the things I can't see and I can't control. I can't control the food except for what I grow, right? I can't control all the water except for what's in my house. When we leave the house, it's we do the best we can, right? But
Right.
everything has something going on in it. I mean, everything between the microplastics and all the other chemicals, we don't get a fair shot anymore. So if the biggest thing I want you guys to do is don't walk away from this call naive. Don't be naive. Don't pretend like we're not being assaulted.
Can I
We
briefly
are.
add to that, Ken?
Sure.
So we've said over 80,000 different carcinogens and toxins, things like microplastics, BPAs, all the different things that are unnatural. Okay. So we have taken the blood of people and we have looked at what is in their blood. And every single last of these 80,000 plus forever chemicals is there. And this is why it's important. Okay. The acceptable amount that doesn't affect your body is zero.
Yes.
So everybody has 80,000 things in their body on some degree that is unnatural, impurities, biohazardous, that is disrupting all the functions of your body and is the main precursor as to why your health is not what you want it to be. And so you have to listen, you're getting 99% of them from just breathing in the air in the environment. You don't have to eat the wrong food. That doesn't help, but you don't have to do that. You don't have, if you drink distilled water, guess what? You still have all these things in your body. So you have got to use a protocol like MasterPeace that is going to remove and reduce and remediate it out of your body quicker than it's just unfortunately coming in.
Yes. Yeah. And and like we were talking about earlier, we all have to breathe every day. Okay. So I know your study's ongoing, and what I'm excited to see in the next release is when we get another couple months down the road, I know it's going to compound, right? Because once you set a foundation, oh my, once you get a foundation set in the body of reversing conditions, there's other things at play. You start activating more power within yourselves for your cells to become stronger, and their intelligence starts to uplift again, and they can do better work more efficiently. And that excites me every day I take it. Every day I take it, I know the exponential opportunity that's there. Every time I see my kids take it, I feel like a good daddy. Okay.
Yeah.
That they did something good for themselves today, and I'm helping them get ahead of the problems that are messing up people's brains. Okay. People can't think straight. They have a hard time focusing and they don't know why. But when you got all this crap floating around, getting across the blood-brain barrier, you're not supposed to be able to think well. That's the whole point.
That's
They
the whole
want you
point
to
of
be.
doing it.
That's the whole point of why we're being attacked, is to slow down your consciousness, to slow down your intelligence, because we are so smart. We are so infinite in our ability. Um, you just have to be willing to accept it, right? Because once you accept what you are and how amazing you are and what your potential can be here on planet Earth, there's no more excuses and you can't hide anymore. Okay. You have to make better choices. And this can help you make a better choice, is what I'm trying to say, because it's all about realignment. And so as you start to realign internally, you're going to feel like doing the things that you claim you want to do, but you haven't done yet, because it's a leg up. It is an advantage. And when I look at other people that don't have it, I feel for them, or they're not aware of it. I feel for them, because I've witnessed multiple times where I've just give someone a bottle who was complaining about something. I said, here, just try this and see if it helps you. Well, what is it supposed to do? I said, it's supposed to help you. Yeah. And they're like, okay. I said, just take the 5 in the morning and 5 at night and call me in a week or two and let's see how it goes. And
The
there's a
best
lot of,
holistic support that we can actually talk about is like if you're teaching someone how to do a back handspring, you want to support them so they don't break their neck, but you want to make it where they get to the point where they don't even realize they're being supported and helped. Kind of like with riding a bike, you know, you kind of want to be there so that they balance themselves, but at some point you don't want them to really feel that they're there. And so we're definitely talking about the most subtle support tool out there. Many people, you know, you just kind of realize, wow, I'm dreaming more vivid. Wow, I'm sleeping incredible this week. Wow, I'm just clear. I feel present. I'm just like my mood. I feel so much better for no reason at all.
I'm not as angry.
Yes, I'm more tolerant towards people. I have so many road rage people. I have a good brother of mine. I have a good brother of mine, and he has anger issues. And so his name is Jay Smith. I'm not going to go into it. But anyways, he will, you know, he has some problems. But he has not had any road rage things since taking it because things just don't bother. It's like, this doesn't matter, and they feel better. Yeah.
You know I call it the daddy grimace. I don't have it anymore. My wife used to constantly catch me like this for no reason. I just going, and she's like, "Are you okay? Like, what's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm good." She's like, "You don't look good. You look pissed off." Like, she goes, "Can you do something about that?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. All right." I'm just trying. She goes, "I think the kids think you're pissed." I'm like, "I'm good. I'm not pissed off." And she's like, "Okay." I don't get that anymore from her. Right?
Wow.
I'm just relaxed here. I don't have that tension in my head. And
Yeah.
those little things to me aren't subtle. Those are big deals because I'm like, that should not be my default face. I should not have resting dad bitch face. Okay? Why should I have that? I shouldn't. And you shouldn't either. We shouldn't be walking around tense and stressed like that all the time. And why are we? Because your systems are stressed and they're tense. And you have a hard time releasing things emotionally, which is still physical. There's still physical pathways those emotions have to move through and those traumas have to move through. That's real stuff. That's not just ether, okay? That's real tangible things within us that have to be able to move, that cost. It comes at a cost to hold on and harbor that kind of stuff within. And that cost is typically acids. We start producing more acid in the body. We make ourselves sick. Okay. So just like, you know, I look at this being a huge part of the parasite game in dealing with the body, exponential, because most people only think about intaking parasites instead of making their own parasites, which a lot of people do. You're making it because you're causing yourself to be acidic with your thoughts and the things that you're harboring inside. And then the good bacteria in you have to pleomorph to go eat up those acids. You didn't intake those things. They are trying to help you. So they pleomorph, they convert it because you're tripping inside. So they've got to go do some cleanup work to help you out. And so you start correcting yourself. You see? So
90% of the parasites in our bodies are parasites our bodies make in response to the environment. That hormones come from emotional state is really is big or bigger than the physical state. And you just touched on a major truth that even the highest level of health practitioner or expert doesn't fully encompass and really understand yet, but it's undeniable. And and so, yeah, what you're saying, people need to hear, because the acidosis or the high acid level in your body is brought on by emotion, brought on by stress. It's brought, of course, an unclean environment, but the parasites start really showing up to try to clean it up. That's why parasites don't eat. Parasites do not eat nor thrive off of a healthy environment. They eat off of heavy metals and crap. They're trying to clean up the environment. And so people taking all these extreme anti-parasitic protocols, we're to the point with truth and our understanding that maybe that's not the best thing to disturb that environment. They're there for a reason. And so as we make ourselves cleaner, as we take better protocols and have better dietary and lifestyle habits so that we have less stress, less negative emotional states of being, attitude, mood, then all of a sudden those parasites just aren't there because there's nothing for them to feed off of. Yep.
And they leave, they die off, or they morph back into being good for you.
Yes.
So,
and there is, Dr. Robert Young, using an electron microscope that goes down to 1 nanometer, which is strongly inside of the cell. He has taken visual objects of mold, fungus, minerals, all these things. And then when they introduce a little bit of acid, all of a sudden, all that stuff starts pleomorphizing. And then all of a sudden you see a parasite. And so our bodies, yes. And so this is proven. This is not whimsical. This is not opinion based. This is truth. Factual. Right. It's not woo-woo. It's factual based truth. Yes.
We have a beautiful, I want to say something about one of my awesome clients. Her name is Sue Brennan. And she said, I've been on MasterPeace for about a month, 5 drops a day. Went off other supplements last week, and I could feel a milestone lift in my focus. 3 months to place checkbook into QuickBooks, and I deleted it all by mistake. Had to start over this week. Checkbook done in 2.5 days. I was like, what was the big deal? This is while doing some cleanse work that I have her doing. And she goes, I guess I'll stay with it, right? This is beautiful, man. This is what it's all about. You can have this. Whoever's on this call, let me tell you about Sue. Sue is an equestrian. She is a Gen Xer. She is at the top of it. She is the top spectrum of a Gen X in age. She is on the farm every day doing hard work. Okay, real hard work that most men these days will just cry about. And she gets it done, and she's all in. You hear me? She is recalibrating her body to make sure the next half of her life is the best half of her life. And this is possible for every last one of us, but you gotta want to make a move. And I can't think of a more simple, listen, I can't make you eat all the fruits and vegetables in the world. All right. And we already know they're tainted anyway. Right. So like sometimes I don't even care if I get organic foods. I'm very frank about it. Sometimes I just don't care. Why?
Because 2 months ago, I'm the same way, Ken. 2 months ago, I said, hey, look, it's all coming down. The aluminum's coming down. Even if they remediate the soil, the aluminum's coming down 1,000 pounds per acre to 2,500.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's got an organic sticker on it. You got to get the crap out faster than it's coming in.
Period. And that's health. That's health. That's a proper operating body, one that can remove toxins faster than they're coming in. That's the name of the game. Some you can control by saying, I won't eat at these places, or I won't eat these man-made things that I know they can fill. I'm sorry, Sue's a baby boomer. I got so much respect for you, Sue. My bad. You just look younger to me. I'm sorry. Please excuse me. I'm a Gen Xer. I made a mistake. She's a baby boomer. She is 63 years old, y'all. She is 63 years old. She is, quote unquote, senior citizen, and she is handling business. Wouldn't you like to be able to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, full of energy, and go kick butt all day long at 63? I know I do. Or whatever age you're at, because she's running, like I post from time to time. I got baby boomers in my practice who are running circles around Gen Xers and millennials. Why? Because they're taking action. They are moving forward. They're looking to believe in themselves more than anybody else. And that includes their doctors. That includes me. I don't bring my clients on and go, I'm the all saying grace. I am not. You are. You know you better than I'll ever know you internally, right? You're the master healer of yourself. I'm the master healer of me. But you're not on this call or on this recording by coincidence. Hopefully we're all old enough to realize that those really don't happen. If you're here, there is a need, or someone needs to see or hear this through you. in order to make a better way. If there was ever any one thing that I said everyone on the planet needs to have, which I don't even like saying those words because of all the dogma that comes behind it. Okay. But until there is anything close to this, this is it. And it's already proven. We've got the data to back it up. And so for those people that registered for this call, you will be getting a follow-up email from me personally, and I will have links to whatever video study material that I have on deck. You will get the link to go check out MasterPeace. In fact, it's right here on the video right now. If you copy that down, and I dropped it somewhere in the feed of comments here. Go and take a chance. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it's a 60-day product for $53, and you will
You tried everything else.
Yeah, you did.
You know, this is completely safe. There's, it's as safe as it gets. See if the hype. See if it's snake oil. See what it does for you.
Come back on my channel and tell me, Ken, that was crap. I dare you. Come on.
Take the MasterPeace challenge.
Yes, you can order, and you can order it yourself, and then you would probably have to send it to them, for drop shipping. But just send them the link.
Right.
You have one. Send them your link. If you bought MasterPeace already, send them you have a link. I'll show you where it's at if you need help figuring it out. And you send them a link and have them buy it. Or you buy them one and just send it to them and say, give it a shot. Because even if you have family, there's a lot of us who've gotten older and we started to recognize we need to pull ourselves together. And that we need to live a cleaner life. And we're noticing we got to get our food right and all these other things. But you may be frustrated with your kids, okay, who are in their 30s and they're starting to have babies and they're not cooking and they're not going to get the right foods. And they're kind of going against the things that they're doing things that are harmful. Get them a bottle of this to them and their family. And just say, trust me, please just give this a solid try for 60 days and let me know how you do. All it can do is help. Isn't that a beautiful thing? All it can do is help. There's no negatives to this, my friends. Not one. We're talking about natural things here that have been built in a way to really access those parts of the body and get into the cells to help us at that cellular level. So many health practitioners out here these days, all over the tube and the internet, are talking about cellular wellness. This is it. This is cellular wellness. You can balance all the minerals in the world you want. Okay? I do that work. I am a hair tissue mineral analysis practitioner. Okay? I bring this in to assist while we build that foundation, my friends. This is a major helper for my clients. Here's another one from another client of mine. I have noticed over the past 3 months, which has included MasterPeace among other things, my brain is functioning like it has not for decades, and perhaps better than ever. Very noticeable to me because I no longer need to write notes to myself while working on the computer so I can remember my thoughts. This man is 76 years old. This man has been going through one of the most amazing transformations I've ever been witness to in my whole time as a practitioner. And I'm so proud of this man and happy of what he's been able to pull off for not only him, but also his wife. They are jamming. Okay, my friends. So if you're young and you've got the I'll never die complex, right? This isn't for me. Do you want to wait till you're 76 to figure it out? Because here's wisdom right now. There's wisdom in this chat, right? Sue Brennan, in her 60s. Di Newman in her late 50s. Alan Steiner, 76. He don't look 76 no more. I tell you that. He's already knocked off 10 to 15 years in about 6 months. Betsy Ford, hey, darling, I'm glad you made it. Listen, no one here is trying to steal from you. Nobody's making a bunch of money off of this.
Right.
This is really about service. And that's what I love about the company. They're here to serve mankind. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to serve mankind. Okay? So I know we hit over an hour. We're about to bring this to a close. I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes. If anybody has any other questions, drop them now. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to drop some more questions, and then Matt and I are going to wrap this up. And Matt, before we wrap this up, is there anything on your mind, any thought, any words of encouragement, anything that you want to share with us before we shut the door?
You know, I wouldn't be able to go into it, but I truly do consider myself a expert and a master at the science of consciousness. And this product, consciousness, intention is everything. Thoughts, they preclude anything that happens. And this will put you in your best version and will help you, lead you to being able to do a lot of the things that you've been wanting to do for yourself, to be able to seize control of your direction in life. And I do believe it's the keystone ingredient to a proper health and holistic protocol. And, you know, whoever you are, you deserve this. And so give it a shot. You've tried all this other stuff. Try this too, the same way. It doesn't matter how much you want to not believe in it or anything else. Take it, because if you take it and finish out the bottle, that even if you don't notice it, which is only about 5 or 10% of the people who get through their first bottle, maybe 5%. Basically, you have a shoo-in of a 19 out of 20 chance that way before your bottle is over with, you're going to be noticing some great changes. And, you know, I just want everybody to do this for themselves, because the whole mission, the whole reason why we created this product and why we are obsessed with getting this out to mankind and why we're relying on people like Ken to do it is because it will improve mankind individually at first, and it will lead to a shift that I know that we all know has to happen here on Earth.
Absolutely. We need a shift of consciousness, and we all know it.
Yeah.
You know, we can't run from it anymore. It's right in our face. They're revealing themselves more and more every day. And at the height of this, because we're not even close to the height of this, okay? If you don't take action, they're going to keep pounding you. And that's just the facts, because that's been their history. All the things we keep lobbying for, and we're begging like little serfs and peasants for our government to do things. They're not going to do it. How many times do you need to get slapped in the face where they say no, or they just blatantly lie to you and say, oh, we're going to change this and change that, and then it doesn't happen? How many more years are we going to listen to government agencies and trust them around food and water when it's very apparent they lie? You know, just on the subject of organic alone, why would you trust the same government who allowed the crap to happen in the so-called non-organic food embody and regulate the organic food?
Right.
Does that make any sense?
You're not going to Costco and Sprouts and getting anything healthy. They did not come this far to come this far and stop. For us to, it's not some do-gooder agency that brought in this organic, green labels and Walmart and everything else for us to, it's simply not the case. Totally.
It's not the case. You gotta see through the hype and the marketing and the lies. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I got plenty of clients showing up here talking about I eat perfect and I buy all organic and I do this and that. And they're sick as dogs. Okay? And there's reasons for this. And it's because we are filthy on the inside. And there's a lot more to this than meets the eye, my friends. I want to thank each and every one of you, every soul who took a time out of their day to watch this video. I want you to know I love you. I want you to know that I care about you and your family, that Matt does too, because this is it. This is the line. This is the battlefield that we're all struggling with, that I don't care who you are, how much money that you have. If you do not have these types of assets in your hands to take control of your health, someone else is taking control of your health. And I know you want to be in control. It's your body. It's your decision. It's your life. And I wish you to have the best one possible. Wellness is within you. Thank you, brother, for coming on to do this with us. It's so good to see you again. God bless you and your family and your entire team over at Health Consciousness Support. I love you all, and thank you for bringing this wonderful opportunity to the world, because the world needs MasterPeace and we need it more than ever. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care and have a great time. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace and love, everybody.